I was learning about higher education during World War II, and then I went into the effects of post-World War II. And I found that women weren't in higher education as much, but they still had the option to go to college. And I looked into the workforce, and my assumption of that time period was always that women got married, stayed in the home, and then, were the housewife, typical 1950s housewives. But I found differently in my research that that wasn't necessarily the case. There's not a lot on this topic, so I had to go off a lot on primary sources. So they pretty much were the bulk of what I was going off of. The oral histories is what I use the most because they're first-hand accounts from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. So they were throughout my paper pretty much, and they were the most relevant. They were first-hand accounts, and the only thing with them is that you got to be look at the biases in them. I also used yearbooks, which were useful with looking at organizations and stuff like that. I used the student handbooks, which had rules in the classes. Student catalogs had the classes actually, and what people were taking at the time, and like a set schedule of what they had to take. You go into looking at some primary sources and you have in your head what you want to find, and that's not necessarily what you're going to find. I found that a lot. There's some things I'm like, okay, I really want, in the oral histories, I really want someone to say this so I can use it. But you can't necessarily go into it like that, like you can a secondary source. I never feel like the research for this project's ever over. You can delve into so many different things, go look at so many different schools and different aspects of it. So if I wanted to, I could in the future, if I had the time and if I wanted to go further with it, I could.